Welcome to Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater. Issues and Answers is presented as a public service to inform, educate, and better the lives of New Mexicans. And now, Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater.
I don't have to tell you what time of year it is, do I? It's the best time of year here in the land of enchantment. And I think my hat says it all. But does it say 50 years? 50 years of the greatest show on earth? That's what we believe here in New Mexico. Well, in the program today, guess what we're going to talk about? 50 years of hot air ballooning in New Mexico, because it's the anniversary. And the place to be in October, of course, is Balloon Fiesta Field. And how many people are coming? What does this mean for our community? How much money is spent? And how much of that goes to our state coffers, city coffers, and local coffers? Well, on the show, we're going to talk about the economic impact of the show that brings us all these ahs and eyes and, oh, look at that, that's my favorite one. Well, all of that has a price. And it's millions and millions of dollars for our coffers, for our pocketbooks, for our local business. But also, they say you can't put a price on happiness. And that's what we're going to talk about too. The happiness that is brought to you and me by the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Stay with us as we talk about 50 years of hot air ballooning and what you need to know right after this.
The National Education Association of New Mexico, a union of teachers and school staff, believes every child deserves to learn at a school that inspires their imagination, cultivates their curiosity, and ensures a fulfilling life. Public schools should provide all our students with small class sizes and one-on-one attention. NEA New Mexico asks you to join us so together we can end the teacher and staff shortage and invest in our public education system once and for all. Sponsored by NEA New Mexico.
Sounds like you know it.
I will correct you. If you
Al is going to correct me. Al Tetreault, thank you so much for being a part of the program. You've been on many, many times. Now as the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta Board of Directors President, Al.
Yes, ma'am.
You started
32 years ago.
as a police officer.
Well, I was a police officer volunteer at the time and helped out with various things on Fiesta. Plus, I was working it as a police lieutenant.
And that's where I met
so
you.
that's where yep. Well, we knew each other before that. Probably when I was a sergeant on APD. I think probably that far back. I mean.
As far we go far. We almost go 50 years.
That's right.
We were in our diapers, but we go back 50 years. Now we got a new guy here on the set.
Oh, a new guy. Paul's been on here forever and ever.
He is
and
the executive
ever.
director. Paul Smith, thank you so much for being a part of this program.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, Al, I call him new guy because we welcome him to the show. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here.
Thank you.
I want to just reminisce, but we're not going to reminisce. 50 years. I mean, this is, as Paul said, it's not the biggest show on Earth.
It's the biggest show off Earth.
Biggest show off Earth. Because those balloons go up. How great. Biggest show, I said biggest show on and off Earth. Al, what would you like to say, your first words regarding 50 years of ballooning here in New Mexico?
It's the greatest event in the world. It is the largest balloon event in the world. And it is probably one of the most senior events in the world. And it's been around for 50 years. And you have a picture of our founder and his balloon. That right there, that particular one has Sid and Jewel Cutter in the balloon. Sid was our founder back in 1972. And the balloon is called the World Balloon. And inside that balloon, you'll see the little red head, that's Jewel. And that's Sid's wife. Sid has passed, and Jewel is still with us.
And we're going to do another show regarding the history and Sid and Jewel in 50 years and what happened in 1972. But I'm glad you pointed that out. And as I said at the beginning of the show, Paul and Al, you know, people say, that's my favorite. To me, the World Balloon has been my favorite. But then I like Chick-a-Boom too. And then I like, there's a lot of favorites, right?
Right.
A lot of favorites. And your favorite part of the year as the executive director is probably the day after the Balloon Fiesta as you plan for the next year. But this is 50 years, Paul Smith.
It is. And, well, 50 years speaks for itself right there. I haven't been here since the beginning, although my white hair would probably speak to the opposite of that. But I've been around actually longer than Al has. I was a pilot starting in 1981. So I've been around Balloon Fiesta for a long time.
I'm kind of emotional about it. It means so much to each of us.
Right.
As a pilot since 1981, as a police officer, I was a reporter at KOB TV when I interviewed Tony the Tiger. Herb's Ravencroft, I remember. He was the voice of Tony the Tiger. It's great taking off in the Tony the Tiger balloon. I mean, we have so many memories. I'm going to actually do another program to reminisce. But on this show, in addition to reminiscing with you, we're going to talk about the economic impact of this big show. The biggest show in the world for hot air ballooning is in our backyard, literally in our backyard.
Well, one of the unique things about Balloon Fiesta as far as economic impact goes, 80% of all of our visitors to Balloon Fiesta are from outside of Albuquerque, out of town. And so that means when you have an economic impact, that's all new dollars coming in to Albuquerque and New Mexico's economy.
You know, I was surprised to see that number as well, because I see a lot of my neighbors at the Balloon Fiesta. So my neighbors go, but plus people from Texas, California, Arizona, and Colorado. A majority of the folks come from those neighboring states as well, but also people from down the street. Right. So many new people are coming in to our state spending that money.
Exactly, and it fluctuates from year to year. Sometimes it's 80% from outside of Albuquerque. Depends a lot on the weather, because Albuquerque residents know that, well, if the weather's not perfect today, well, I can go tomorrow, because the weather is going to probably be perfect the next day. So the people from out of state are already here. They're going to come out and take the chance. Albuquerque people will come out later in the week, or remember, we see 40 or 50 balloons around here, and it's Saturday. 40 or 50 balloons anywhere else in the country or the world, it's a major event.
Yeah, but that's interesting that these dollars are coming from out of state into our coffers. Because what do local business people say to you? I mean, I know it's, of course, important to them, but what kind of reaction, what have they said to you throughout the years, Al, as you talk to them and Paul?
What a big input this is to our economy. I mean, I can give you a figure. $7 million is spent on rental vehicles alone. Just renting cars while they're here in Albuquerque.
Wow.
And $109 million is spent, or 110 almost, is spent in direct spending. That's just not an impact, that's actual direct spending.
And a large number, I think, Paul, comes from the restaurants. I mean, they have a huge increase during that time of the year.
Also the hotels. I was just reading an article I had from the Chamber of Commerce, and they say that at least, there's 10,000 people per night in our hotels. And I thought that was really unique. That figure comes from the group at Visit Albuquerque.
And they did have that study, I think, done in 2019 around this impact, and that's where I saw a lot of the numbers that you have regarding the economic impact of $186 million, but the direct spending was 110 direct spending on not just souvenirs like I like to buy, but when they come here, they shop for clothing, they go to the restaurants, they go up the tram, they go to our museums, and a lot of these dollars also, Paul, go back into our state. I know the state of New Mexico supports, of course, the Balloon Fiesta, the city of Albuquerque, but also money goes back. I think it was, $4 million goes back to about $4 million to the state, $2 million to the city, and $1 million to the county.
Exactly, and that's part of the impact. I think Mayor Richard Berry a few years ago likened Balloon Fiesta as having a Super Bowl every year in your backyard. So I don't know how we really equate or compare it to the Super Bowl, but it's a good quote, so I use it whenever I'm talking to potential sponsors.
We have a number of items. What other points would you like to share, Al?
Well, one of the big points is the media. The media, we have over 700 plus media folks that show up here. And one of the big thing is that we have 8.7 billion people that actually view or get some kind of media impact from Balloon Fiesta. So that's a heck of a thing for a sponsor or a restaurant or anything else, is to be at Balloon Fiesta. 8.7 billion people are going to see this event in one shape or form through the media.
And they may not even had heard of Albuquerque before they saw this, right? I mean, in other parts of the world, who knows? Who knows Albuquerque, really?
Well,
and especially New Mexico, they think it's Mexico.
It used to be that whenever I traveled around the country, around the world, if they heard that I was from Albuquerque, they said, "Oh, balloons." Then either fortunately or unfortunately, several years ago, they go, "Breaking Bad." But, and then they say balloons. So, but again, the balloon, it's nice to be on the top of the good list. And ballooning does put Albuquerque on the top of the good list.
Well, and culturally too, it has an impact, enhances our quality of life for us and for the people who come to see the show. It's fantastic. What other points do you have there,
Well,
Al?
some of the other things that Balloon Fiesta does for the community is in economic impact, of course, but it also has an economic impact in the not-for-profit groups. We have 75 groups that help put this on, and that those nonprofit groups, like Rotarians and Civitans and Kiwanis and all these different clubs that work, also get funding, and that funding goes back into their groups and helps the community with some of the cultural aspects, as you just brought up.
Kind of didn't think of that before, Al. Regarding when I drive up and I pay my $20 for parking, that goes to, maybe it's the Kiwanis?
Well, Kiwanis gets a portion of that to do their program.
Because they're out there manning the parking.
Right, yes.
And so they get a portion of the
Right,
parking.
yes.
And the portion goes to the nonprofit
Right.
Fiesta.
Paul negotiates that every year.
Actually, the parking technically is the Civitans group, and the
Oh, I'm
Kiwanis,
sorry.
the Kiwanis group is the group that
Sells at the,
gate. That sells the tickets to get in the gate.
but they also sell the merchandise.
Well,
right?
we have,
Because I see them.
as Al said, there's like 75 different groups that come under those umbrellas to make money for their clubs.
So
Great point on that, 75 groups. Because I think of the business community being impacted, but I'd never really thought of these volunteer groups being impacted by all the people coming.
Right. Well, you must know that the Balloon Fiesta is a not-for-profit company. And the board of directors, like I'm part of, we're all volunteers. We're not paid. We have a paid staff of 15 people. But other than that, all these people that come to our event are volunteers that work our event.
And Al, why do you do this as a volunteer?
It's a way for me to give back to the community that's given so much to me, and this country that's given so much to me. So it's my way of saying thank you by putting my time in to help make Balloon Fiesta more successful so that it can go on for years, even after I reach the happy hunting ground. So it's a great, to me it's a great event. And it does a lot of things for Albuquerque.
And those 75 nonprofits, thank you for that. I see them there, but I didn't think, they're there manning the booths and they're getting paid back for their association and the good that they do throughout the year.
Well, the good point one point on that as well is the individuals aren't getting paid. They're doing it, they're volunteering for Kiwanis or for Civitans, and then those clubs are getting the money so that they can do different things.
And they can do so many things for the community.
And then in addition to the paid service groups, we have over 1,000, probably close to 1,200 volunteers. We call them navigators because they help people around that are unpaid, that just are also giving back to the community.
And then you have the volunteers who are helping the pilots who have helped you for 40 some years.
Yeah, if we include the chase crews that are volunteers, you can add another 2,500 people on top of the 1,000. There's no way any individual or any for-profit corporation could do this.
And we also add $59 million a year in employment wages to various groups that help us, or people that vendors or staff or whatever. But $59 million also goes back into the community to help support our folks in our community as well. Those are employment wages.
So I see the importance to both of you, to all of us, even here at KCHF TV, to make sure it's set up so it continues on long after we're gone because of this. Because if it fell apart, which we've known things can fall apart, then we won't have this great economic impact that so many people count on.
Like 2020.
Right?
Exactly.
COVID-19.
Yeah.
A lot of people were hurt because we didn't have the Balloon Fiesta. A lot of people were hurt. Yeah, I understand. Thank you. So in the study, I did have a question regarding people spending. It said, again, the study they did in 2019 that showed all this economic impact. Per person spending was about $157 a day, Paul. That seems really low. Of course, those are 2019. Now we're in 2022. Of course, things have gone up, but...
Well, everything is an average that they work on too. But remember, if it's a family of four or a family of, well, let's just say a family of four, you're talking about over 600 people, or $600 a day.
Okay. Yep. That's the number.
family.
And they show at concessions, and I was sharing this with Al before the show, $31. The average is $31 on concessions.
Well, they didn't count you when you were in there. You weren't one of the people on the survey, I presume, since I saw your pins and I've seen a few of your other memorabilia here.
Yeah, no, $31. It's a great place to do Christmas shopping. As I shared, I mean, I go there year after year to buy the bamboo sheets. I buy a massage gun. I bought the Cutco knife. I mean, I never even saw Cutco knives anywhere else. I mean, I've heard of them, but then they shared, and I go back year after year, get a new knife. I mean, we're not talking inexpensive knives.
No.
But knives I don't think they give it to you. They send it, they mail it to you. Pins, of course, candles, I mean, local things. Oh, my favorite, my hats. I couldn't find my hat. I've got a great, these are my Balloon Fiesta hats with my pins, but the fun character hats, the funny hats. I have a flamingo hat that I wear at Fiesta so people can find me. It's just great fun, great place to do Christmas shopping.
Well, exactly, and that's one of the things that you talked about earlier before the show started, that there is economic impact, but the one thing that you can't put a dollar on is joy, is happy, and that's really, I think, the thing that Balloon Fiesta tries to bring to everyone that comes.
Joy, but if you get a souvenir that you get to look at, what's this?
That is that's actually our poster this year. Warner Brothers has been working with us, or the Chuck Jones Gallery actually has been working with us for the past 5 years on a series of posters leading up to this year. It was originally a 4-poster set, but we had already printed the 2020 posters before we had to cancel because of COVID, and so we talked them into coming up with a 5th set, or a 5th poster for the set. And a lot of people don't have the wall space in their houses for the full-size posters, so this is a miniature version of the poster for this year.
And it's made out of metal.
Where you could hang it still in your office,
Right.
bedroom, home, hallway, bathroom. Actually, this would be good in a bathroom because there's a lot to look at.
There is. Actually, Daniel Killen, who's the artist, put a lot of things in there for people to look at. There's actually Chuck Jones is kind of hidden in one of the images as well.
We have here 50 Years Balloon Magic. This is a nice coffee table book.
Mm-hmm. It's got a lot of great stories in it as well.
Yeah. It's actually mostly pictures, a lot of photographs over the years. We also, the history, you might think of this as a history book. This is not really the history this year. Our program is going to be a better compilation of 50 years, what happened in the 1970s, the 80s, the 90s, and all that. This is more just how Balloon Fiesta progresses from day 1 through day 9, plus some of the pictures from way back.
This book.
This book.
But there is the program.
Right.
Souvenir program this year of 50 years, again, more of the history.
Right, exactly.
And of course,
it'll have the pictures of the balloons and all that, the stuff that's normally in our program.
where can we buy this other than Fiesta? Because this is kind of heavy to carry around.
It'll be at Balloon Fiesta in the merchandise tents, also in our gift shop at 4401 Alameda. Also online, you can buy it and we can ship it to you.
Good idea, because folks, this is heavy. Buy it when you walk out the gate. But what you can buy right away, which is my favorite, and this is a wonderful Christmas gift to send to people around the country, to remind them, come next year,
Exactly.
is your Balloon Fiesta calendar. What else do we have here?
Well,
We have, oh gosh, we have a lot. What do I mean what I have? Hats?
Yeah.
Tell me about these hats. Beautiful.
Well, our staff designs all this stuff and comes up with all these ideas.
Really? Okay.
And this
Wow.
particular one is turquoise. This particular one is our 50th hat that's designed for this year's Balloon Fiesta. And again, the turquoise New Mexico colors. And then another one just showing the different balloons. I mean, there's something for everyone's taste. And then, of course, this one is the one with the 13 original balloons on it. And I would say that, just remind everybody that this is going to be, we're going to have our first Balloon Fiesta is going to be at the Coronado Center the Friday before the event. We're actually going to have a recreation of the first Balloon Fiesta.
The Friday, the 30th, or what is it?
September 30th.
September 30th, the Friday.
Right before the Balloon Fiesta starts, there will be an event. I'm going to let Paul talk a little bit more to that.
Well, just briefly, it is the original Balloon Fiesta was 13 balloons that finally were able to launch. They had more balloons scheduled to come, but there was a snowstorm in the Midwest, so a lot of the balloons couldn't ship out. So 13 balloons launched, so we're going to have 13 balloons launched from Coronado Center on the Friday before, in conjunction with our Albuquerque loft, which is when we launch balloons from the local schools around the city. So
That Friday's a busy day too.
So it's always more involvement with the community. Again, trying to get everybody involved and enjoy the fiesta from bottom to top.
Yeah. It's early this year though, right? That's one thing when I looked at the first, I mean, it's going to be here so quickly. The first, it's, you know, sometimes it's better when it's October 6th, right? It gives it a little breathing room for folks, but it's like right here, especially when you talk about the 30th of September really starting. Oh, that's why I'm glad you're here now and we're going to be airing this. Love the shirts.
Oh.
You see the turquoise, that's got the 13 balloons on it as well.
does, and also the design that's in the middle of the jack, or the cap in that is on our 50 balloon, call it Fiesta Gold.
How much? Well, this one is, I see the price, $30. About $30 the shirts are?
Roughly.
30, ooh, this one might be 36. 35.
That one's
Ooh, that's
the
nice.
long sleeve tee.
This is what?
The long sleeve tee.
Oh, the long sleeve
That's a little
tee.
bit more.
Now, ExxonMobil, are they a new sponsor?
Yes.
Full sponsor?
Well, not new.
New presenting.
Presenting.
They've been with us for about 3 years. They started one of their divisions. XTO was the sponsor back a few years ago, and now the parent company has come on in a big way and big sponsor. So if you notice, everything is Balloon Fiesta powered by ExxonMobil.
That's nice, powered by. Actually, is the, oh, look at this. Ooh.
Well, we figured you had to see a jacket.
Huh? This runs how much? About.
I
See
don't
it?
know.
I don't, it looks like,
Doesn't have the price?
looks like $175, I believe.
Beautiful, and the original.
And there's the original balloons right there. It's really unique, you know, and one of the problems we run into is this year is everybody wants this stuff. They're just dying for it. And we've got a lot of stuff that we've already sold.
So you're selling a lot of this at your offices.
Right. We're selling it at our office, like Paul says, online. And hopefully we'll have enough left for our merchandise tents.
Well, that's the plan. But
That's
again,
the plan.
I don't know if it's COVID related or if it's just people want it early. But our online sales have grown probably 250% over 2019.
And again, the sales from these items goes back to run the Balloon Fiesta,
Correct.
to operate the Balloon Fiesta. It's a nonprofit, just paid staff.
That's it. Not for profit.
Al, what else? We have a couple minutes left on the show. We're going to talk about the history later on, and we're going to talk about what you need to know for this Fiesta, the dates, how much it costs, change in the parking or change in the route to get there. But our final words about what this means to you and your dedication to the Balloon Fiesta and the city.
Well, like I said, it means me giving back. However, what I wanted to say was, Balloon Fiesta to the city of Albuquerque is likened to the Kentucky Derby to Louisville and Pasadena to the Rose Bowl. I mean, these are just several. Someone once said this is like having the Super Bowl here 10 days in a row. That's what it's like. We have 100,000 people that show up on Saturday and maybe more. Paul, how many would you say?
80.
80? I'm sorry. So maybe I've slightly exaggerated. But I think we're going to have a bigger year this year than we've ever had. I think it's really going to be a good year for Albuquerque. I'm counting on real good weather.
Okay, early on.
We're getting
right?
all the rain out now.
Yeah.
So we won't hopefully get any rainouts or like snowouts.
I remember
We've actually
yours.
had snow
I was
a couple
there.
of
El
times.
Tetreault, thank you so much for all you've done for decades for the city of Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico. Appreciate that. And Paul Smith, thank you so much. And we're going to hear more from you and your thoughts as we talk about the history, because you've been ballooning here since 1981.
Yes, ma'am.
Paul Smith, the executive director. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And viewers, thank you for watching. I'm Diane Kinderwater. The dates are October 1st through the 9th. But they just shared with me on the Friday before, which is September 30th, there's a lot of activities throughout the city at our schools and at the Coronado Shopping Center. So much to do. Get prepared. Get prepared now. And we'll talk in another show about what you need to know about this year's Fiesta. Thanks for watching. Make it a great week. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater is presented as a public service to inform, educate, and better the lives of New Mexicans. To comment on today's program or to purchase a copy of any Issues and Answers program, visit sunbroadcasting.org or call us at 505-345-1991.